Live from New York, it's a show that's congratulating the Dodgers and specifically Brew for yet another perfect prediction. You're just on fire with these.
And congrats to anyone in our audience who took my advice Friday when I didn't take my own.
Oh, what is this advice?
I told them Yamamoto at Friday,
Oh,
he
for
was
MVP?
16-1. 16-1 on Friday to win MVP. I told people to bet
Did you take it?
Nope, because I was picking the Blue Jays.
And you had the Dodgers originally.
No, and he blew it.
Six.
He picked the Dodgers and the Blue Jays in 6
Yeah.
is the problem. You get it, Brew. Brew's on fire. The Bud list is on fire. Did you watch our walk-in
Bud
video?
list is on a major
All 3 of
fire.
his Bud list editions.
I wish my upset
I know.
alert
That's
was
why
on
we got rid of
fire.
Cowboy Brew.
No,
First
My
hour.
wife, you know what she bought me for my birthday?
A cowboy hat?
Yes.
Get out of town.
Yeah, a cowboy hat.
Not true.
She said she bought me a cowboy hat. I think she thinks I wear it on the show. Because she doesn't watch the show. She's working. I think she thinks I
we
wear it on
can't
the show.
make Wilds laugh. Wilds is playing hurt today. Look at him.
It's all the winning the Patriots are doing.
Yeah.
I'm not used to it. What did the Bills prove in a pretty dominating victory?
More dominating than the score.
Sprinkle this.
Yes.
No, absolutely. It was a
was.
miracle that the Chiefs were within a touchdown at the end. Like the only real downside of that game for Buffalo was Sean McDermott kicking that field goal at the end, which gave the Chiefs a slight chance and makes you a little nervous about his game management come January. But what did the Bills prove? They once again proved and confirmed that they are the Chiefs' biggest and, in my opinion, only AFC threat. And they have been, ever since the Bengals decided to stop fielding a defense, they have been the only, for me, real threat to the Chiefs in the AFC. And Josh was sensational. You said the completion, he set a Bills franchise record.
Franchise record, yeah.
In the same game that Patrick set his own career personal reverse of a record, lowest ever completion percentage. And unlike the playoffs, in the regular season games, not only have the Bills won, Josh has outplayed Patrick thoroughly. We can show you the numbers. It's jarring. They score 9 more points a game, or 8, and the numbers are 8 touchdowns to 9 turnovers for Patrick, 14 to 3 to Josh, and a 30-point gap in passer rating. And so fair is fair. Because as everybody knows, before Danny came on the show, I was the show's Bills guy because you guys didn't believe in him. I did. So Josh Allen's earned it. He deserves it. I'll drop a banner for Josh. Consistently outplaying Mahomes when it matters the least. We all know it. When it matters the least, and listen, I fell for the
Josh
banana.
Supposed to feel good about
I don't know.
that?
It just is what it is.
Fair. It feels a little sarcastic.
A little?
And
You
it's
think?
why it's such a shame that the Bills' young players in their secondary, because you heard Josh, just like they're the standard, all this stuff. Those other guys just were a little too ebullient after the win. Because Cole Bishop, who I think was on Brew's making the leap list in the offseason,
he
had a
has
great
made
game.
the leap.
Unbelievable.
He has made
Unbelievable.
the leap.
And then after the game, he gave the Chiefs a little peek behind the
I
curtain.
didn't see this.
One of the motions on 3rd down, film study. So I'll play versus the Chargers, where he spit it out there pretty quick. So being able to know he's potentially going to throw that ball, just chasing the motion, being able to anticipate the ball might go there. You might think that's something. What about this from Hairston, the rookie?
TMI.
Who was, this is about Xavier Worthy. Finding a difference in his posture and his effort for real when he knows he's not getting it when it's a run. So just applying what I saw from the film room and taking it out onto the field, there are tells that everybody gives. It's just about finding it.
What are you doing, Bills?
Thanks, by the way, to Tyler Dunn of Go Long TD, who got that
Really?
Hairston quote. But Brew, those are the types
ridiculous.
of quotes you give after you've climbed the mountain when you've won your Super Bowl. Like, this is how we did it. So shout out to the Bills. That's 5 straight. They are the first and only team ever to lose 4 straight Super Bowls. They are now the first team ever to win 5 straight Super Bowls. And listen, they gave us a little bit of the blueprint. Josh kicked Mahomes' ass. It was a miracle the Chiefs were only down 7. I was wrong. I lost a lot of money on the game. I thought the Chiefs with a vanilla game plan would be able to win. I was wrong, and so that's what they proved. And credit to everyone where it's due, and thank you for the self-scout Bills secondary. We appreciate
I can't
that,
believe they did
and we
that.
might use that in January.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
All right, first of all, Kyle Van Noy on the show last week. Did you hear that?
What?
You guys aren't a threat at all.
No.
Nothing.
No.
13 wins, 12 wins,
Yeah.
MVP, no threat.
Correct.
All right, use that as fodder. That's just a little something there. I said last week, if they don't win, they're a good team, good playoff team, no chance of getting to the Super Bowl. They've proven to me that they are a legitimate Super Bowl contender. And I get it. Had they lost, everybody else, would have felt like, oh, they're still a contender. But I would not have really given them a chance to get to the Super Bowl. I'm giving them that chance now. And I do feel, and I get it, Nick, obviously they win in the regular season, they lose in the playoffs. They beat them by 18 a few years ago in the regular season. So this wasn't even the biggest win. But I think they could beat the Chiefs. I'm not predicting it. I'm just saying they could beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. Like, they have the personnel. And I get it, the Chiefs were a little banged up on the offensive line. Yeah. The Bills are missing some defensive players and stuff. But I think their style of play, it's interesting to me. I feel like the Bills have gotten a little better on the offensive line. Offensive line was really good last year. This year, it's like great. Run game, really good last year. This year is great. It's the best in the league. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the Chiefs' defense, while still very good, has gotten a little bit worse against the run. So maybe they're obviously closely matched teams. So I think that them being able to run so well, obviously with James Cook, but of course Josh Allen is always a threat. I think that can give the Chiefs some problems. It clearly did yesterday. Cook was the first 100-yard rusher in about a year against the Chiefs. And then defensively, I was shocked defensively.
That's where I got the game dead wrong. I thought the Chiefs would be able to just move the ball at will, and they weren't.
And there was every reason to kind of feel that way, unless you just put a lot into the Carolina game for Buffalo last week. But, the pressure, they got Mahomes pressured on like 52% of his dropbacks. He didn't play well against the pressure. Obviously, they shut down the run game. Chiefs don't have a great run game as it is. And look, can they get that type of pressure on Mahomes in the playoffs when the offensive line is healthy? If they can get close to that, 40%, 35%, something like that, then maybe that could make a difference. I thought they did a good job. You probably saw, you guys, there was stuff going around on Twitter. Bosa, Joey Bosa didn't rush Mahomes, and implying stuff was fixed. They were playing, if you guys didn't see that, there was the
4th and 17 where Bosa got fooled.
But no, Bosa was thinking stuff was, a screen and stuff.
Yes.
Like, I thought they did a good job of, that was an obvious example of them making sure they stayed in their lanes. The pass
integrity?
Lane integrity. Because Mahomes obviously is great at scrambling.
Yeah.
And so I think they kind of took that away from him to some degree.
The Bills' defensive game,
smart.
Listen, the Super Bowl against Tampa, they got, you go, Wilds.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
It obviously wasn't a playoff game, but the times that we have seen Mahomes falter in the playoffs, that is the recipe.
Pressure, yeah.
Whether it's Tampa, Philadelphia, he got hurried or hit 15 times. He was getting hit out of bounds, not late, but it was just, hey, we're around at all times.
Yeah.
That's the only way. Having a clean pocket and we're going to play it straight up.
And listen,
it's not going to work.
So a point of that, and then on the shots. Super Bowl against Tampa, he was pressured 52% of the time. They got blown out. Super Bowl against Philly, the second one, he was pressured 53% of the time. They got blown out. Yesterday, he was pressured 52.6% of the time. And yes, Mahomes did take some shots. He also, and I'm the biggest Patrick Mahomes guy on TV, the histrionic and the acting and the faking like he got hit in the head. Run the tape, Dust. It's embarrassing. For an MVP to have somebody his hand graze his helmet, and it just can't wait. I was so disoriented watching the game. I thought that was Patrick.
There's just one.
My bad. Let's just see it.
I've seen all-time great.
Oh my God!
Do similar.
Oh my goodness gracious!
This is lame.
Hold on, look at this. My God!
This is lame.
This is lame.
Concussion protocol, I suppose, might be. My goodness gracious!
Yeah.
But listen, credit where it's due. They played a great game. They deserve to win. And for Bills fans out there that want to see me in pain while I put on a brave face, I lost an enormous amount of money on that game.
Oh.
My friend Nacho's a big Bills fan. I mentioned him a lot on the show. He's also a bigger gambler than me, so I was like, oh, gamble
went
at
up in
yours.
weight?
Yeah, I went up. I went up in weight class a bit.
Oh.
It's a tough one. Got to pay him in crypto too. Sucks.
I will say quickly, if I may.
Yeah.
When they were up, what was their biggest lead? 28?
15.
50, yeah.
28,
I felt
13.
like they could actually blow them out. I would
they
have
were
been
on the
feeling
cusp.
real good for the Bills had they, been able to
Close
really
it out
blow
like
them
that.
out.
Yep.
Yeah, but it ended up being fairly close.
Bills in Miami on Sunday. As for the other side of the ball, the Chiefs join the Panthers as the only 5-4 teams in the league.
You love that. You love it.
They're 5-4.
We've been ripping the
You know what
Panthers.
question I
We
wanted
need
to ask
chill
if
with
I
that.
was in a bad mood?
What? What?
It was going to be Chiefs-Panthers. Which team is not really 5-4? Mahomes, first time he's ever completed less than half of his passes. Yep. Okay, here's the AFC playoff picture as it stands today. Greg's Colts, number 1. In the hunt, the Chiefs currently on the outside looking in. Really, both of you guys' teams. Oh,
Yeah.
W is number 2. Are you starting to worry about KC, even though you're not a big worrier?
Absolutely not. Not whatsoever. And I was very cautious and intentional in not mentioning any of the injuries and giving the Bills credit for what they did. Mm-hmm. But I think now it's instructive to one of the reasons I'm not worried. So they were, by the basically second half of that game, without 3 of their starting 5 offensive linemen and their starting running back. All of those guys, every single one of those guys, is expected to be back after the bye. Josh Simmons actually got back in the facility today. He wasn't hurt. He had the family issue, kind of mysterious personal matter, but he's back now. So I think that initially absolutely helps. That playoff picture helps a lot as well in that there's nobody really behind them that can jump them. Now, I'm not saying Baltimore can't get in, but Baltimore, who's behind them, would get in
as the
division winner. And so they need to catch Jacksonville, who I believe in, but other people don't, or two teams they play 3 times, the Chargers and the Broncos. And I'll be the last man on the I don't believe in the Broncos ship, but I'm going to stay on that ship. And this weekend and them eking past Davis Mills didn't change my opinion on that. And getting 2 against Denver makes me feel like sitting here today, they're going to win the division. That they're not going to sneak into the playoffs. They're going to run Denver down. And I think this quarterbacks faced versus quarterbacks coming up is part of the reason for my optimism. They're 5-4. I would right now expect them to finish 12-5. And so they have faced the who's who of NFL quarterbacks so far, aside from Stafford, really. And now what they have left is the Dak, who is excellent, but the defense is awful. Justin Herbert, who is when they face him will be without evidently the most important player on the team, Joe Wall.
That's in Kansas City. That game in Brazil.
That game is in Kansas. Yes, that's in Kansas City. And then again, I think CJ's a good player. I don't think the Texans have a good offense, and so that gives me even more confidence that they got. Listen, we knew the first 9 games for Kansas City leading into the bye were the brutal part of their schedule. The hope was to go 7-2. The expectation was they'd go 6-3. They finished 1 game below, what the Vegas expectation was. So no, I'm not worried about the Chiefs missing the playoffs. And I don't think they have to have home field, particularly when it looks like home field could go to either the Colts or a second-year quarterback. And I think Patriots are really good, but just guys, a second-year quarterback in Knicks or Drake May, for that matter. And so, no, I'm not worried.
It's not panic time by any stretch. But it's time for a little trepidation.
Oh.
I think just because, Nick, the room for error is sliding
Diminishing.
away.
Yes.
Right? Like, they are 1-4 against teams with winning records. So they've looked great at times, but when you get down to it, they're 1-4 against teams with winning records.
Don't you, in your mind, really think they're 2-4 though? Because you're not counting the Ravens win.
And
the Ravens with Lamar is a team.
Of course, I believe in the Ravens, but even 2-4,
sure.
That's not great. Okay, and now 4 of their last 9 are against teams with winning records.
Yes.
Now you got Denver twice. My guess, because I'm assuming the Chiefs will probably have to play both of those games tough. I think one is week 17 maybe, but I think they'll split with Denver. I think they'll split with Denver.
Well, then they won't win the division. They have to sweep Denver to win the division.
I agree with you that I think they'll get in the playoffs, and I don't think they need to win the division get to the Super Bowl. But I think they'll probably split with them. I think they'll probably end up splitting with the Chargers. I don't see the Chargers sweeping them this season. Indy, after what we saw yesterday, you would think they'll win that game. But, hey, we'll see. So I just think that's, like I said, if you look at their schedule, it's not as tough as it has been, but the room for error is slipping away. And you're right, Jacksonville, I mean, you're going to get one team from the AFC North most likely.
Yep.
Jacksonville could be because you're getting two from your division.
It's Denver, Chargers, Chiefs, Jacksonville.
Yeah.
3 of the 4 are going to make it, and one of them is going to be left without a seat.
Can I address the elephant in the room?
I don't know what it is. If you think it's the Patriots, I don't.
No, I'm not talking
Okay,
about
go
the
ahead.
Patriots.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tackle that turned the tide. Rough day
So
for the
I'm
tackle
real.
that turned
I
the tide.
thought you might
Yeah,
mention
is that
So here's the thing.
just gone?
Obviously, it's not gone, but as powerful of a force as the tackle that turned the tide is,
Yeah.
there is a force obviously more powerful, and that force is the. Oh, what do you, I don't even know
What's
what
so
you're funny
talking
is
about. I don't know what
Wild
you're talking
set
about.
me
I
up
think
for this.
T7 I don't
Wild
know.
set no
Took it away.
T7 got killed by Kyle Van Noy. So just wait a moment.
I don't know.
Wild's without knowing it set me up perfectly for this because I didn't know how I was going to get into it, and then you're such a great teammate. Because there is a force more powerful, and that
The
is
tackle that turned the tide?
yeah, and that is destiny. And
What?
it is the ultimate destiny of this NFL season and it had the Chiefs won against Buffalo, it wouldn't have been possible for this to happen realistically. That the final game that is ever played in Highmark Stadium is a Chiefs-Bills playoff game, potentially with the Super Bowl on the line, Super Bowl appearance on the line. And that the final moments of that forsaken stadium is the Chiefs once again beating Buffalo to steal from the city of Buffalo the only thing other than wings that they really have to their name, which is the 4 consecutive Super Bowl
Rick
appearances.
James is from
and had the Chiefs won, there wouldn't be a Chiefs playoff game in Buffalo, and now there can be. And so I will, again, even the tackle that turned the tide can't stop Chiefs-Bills' ultimate destiny, which is one final playoff game in Buffalo to close that stadium out.
A little bit close to my turf there.
What do you mean?
I'm mowing my lawn a little bit.
How?
I'm kind of the doorstep of destiny guy.
Oh, sorry. My apologies.
A little bit.
My apologies.
Just a little bit. It's time for our daily update of the Athletics playoff predictor.
Okay, thanks.
My favorite, 73% chance to make the playoffs, the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Athletics playoff predictor.
Yeah, I love it.
You give a little more oomph to it than I do.
Oh,
Because the Vegas playoff predictor today has the
Vegas.
Chiefs as the second most likely to win the Super Bowl.
that's gambling.
Well, yeah, I like that. No
this
disrespect to Mike Silver and Robert Mays, but
This is the Athletics playoff
okay,
predictor.
that's fine.
Heading to the world of baseball. Dodgers celebrating at their parade today after one of the most thrilling World Series victories ever. Yamamoto wins MVP after notching 2 wins and the save in Game 7. Brew, it was an epic World Series, so it's a tough question to answer, but we'll try. What was your number one takeaway?
It is tough because it was phenomenal. And I love playoff baseball, but this was just incredible. You couldn't, and throughout that game, because it was mostly a 1-score game.
Yeah.
At times it was 2. But I was just saying to my wife, I was like, this is as close as you can be. They're going 7. There's 1 run separating them, and then they get to extra innings. It was just incredible. But to me, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, that's what stands out to me. I mean, he was fantastic to not only win Game 6 with your back against the wall, but then to go in and win Game 7. And the 11th inning when Vlad starts off with a double.
Yeah.
And then they get men on first and third with 1 out. And he hit a batter too.
Yep.
Everything could have been working against him. He threw 96 pitches, I think, in Game 6. And here's the deal. His ERA this World Series against that great hitting team, and I talked last week about how the Blue Jays had the best batting average in the regular season, best in the playoffs, best in the World Series, obviously. his ERA was 1.02 in 17 innings. Blake Snell, a great pitcher in his own right. His ERA against the Blue Jays, 6.9.
Yep.
Shohei, a great pitcher in his own right. ERA 7.5. Glass now is okay, 3.3. But as a team, their ERA was 4.8 without Yamamoto. And so for him to have a 1.02 ERA against that team, and it just took me back to, this is rare, obviously. He's, I think, the first pitcher since Randy Johnson to win 3 games in the and
Baumgartner in 14 had a similar performance, but it wasn't back-to-back days, where he won Game 1, Game 5, and then had a 5-inning save in Game 7. But that was, I can say this, against my Royals, who were not quite the potent offense Toronto is. You know what I mean? Toronto is.
I mean, they had guys at the lower part of their order getting tons of hits. So his pitching was just lights out, and that was what.
And what was the biggest reason I picked the Blue Jays? Because
you thought they were better.
Well, yes, but what was the weakness of the weakness of the Dodgers was the bullpen.
Yeah.
And then in Game 7, they're like, how about we use 4 pitchers and they're all starters?
Yeah.
How about we don't go to the bullpen and, inoculate ourselves from that? So, listen, Yamamoto was unbelievable. I'll never get over not betting on him to win MVP after telling people to do it, but so be it. What people will never really get over, and this is, to me, my biggest takeaway, is Blue Jays fans, in that I do not think there has ever been a team that close that many different times to winning the World Series and not winning it. And I said that on Twitter over the weekend, and people responded, you're forgetting about the Rangers, who were 1 strike away multiple times in 2011. Trust me, as a Royals fan who fades the Cardinals, I'm not forgetting about that. I knew, but that was singular moments, which like, oh my God, we can win the World Series right here. If you're a Blue Jays fan, the 7th most painful thing is that you lost an 18-inning game. Game 6, you have the World Series at home in your building, and you have a chance to steal it. You have second and third, 1 out, and a ball is hit, and you're like, oh my God, is it going to be tied? Game over. That's it. And then Game 7, you're 2 outs away, and a guy who's hit 1 home run in the last 6 weeks takes the lead. But then despite that, bases loaded, 1 out. Bases loaded, 1 out. And IKF is out by literally an inch in as close of a play as you'll ever see.
And he almost stumbled.
Right, he did stumble, and IKF, I'm not going to kill him on the lead because smart people have disagreed about if it was good or it was bad, whatever. He is as close as you can get. And then after that, you have a ball is hit, and you're like, wait, I think we're going to win because those 2 guys are going to run into each other. And the center fielder that Dave Roberts inserted right before the inning, he saves the game. And then an inning later, Vladdy hits a bomb. Earlier that inning, Vladdy hits a bomb that you think wins it. Like, as a sports fan, I can't imagine a half dozen different instances where it's like, we won the and then the final, the Mookie play, KW, Rainey Jazzarelli, who's a great baseball writer, said this is one of the first in years golden pitch moments, which was either team can win the World Series on this pitch.
Oh, that's cool.
Where you're down a run in the bottom of the 9th or extras with men on base, where the World Series can end in either direction on this pitch, and it ends on a broken bat to Mookie. I mean, if you're a Blue Jays fan, man, I don't know how you get over it.
It's an amazing World Series. 143 days until baseball season opens up. Patriots held on to win their 6th in a row behind yet another solid outing from Drake May. Now, New England currently in first place. Stephon notched his 900th reception with Cardi in the building. Our Taylor Swift, as I mentioned several times, she looked just resplendent.
Yeah.
And we actually, with trade deadline coming up, we actually have some breaking news from Dusty. There has been a trade. Wow. I have received the rights to the Royal Trumpeters. Previously was a Jacksonville bit, but Jacksonville not totally relevant, but we wanted to keep the Trumpeters.
Okay.
That will now be a Patriots thing.
But the prince that was promised is still Trevor Lawrence, to be clear.
Yes.
But you get the Royal Trumpeters, and what do I get?
You will get the tackle that turned the tide. I'll have my full enthusiasm behind that.
Yeah.
And then when the sports media ombudsman happens for the Bud list,
Yeah.
I will no longer say whether you like it or not.
That's right.
That's the trade.
That's the
trade.
general trade.
My
That's
God.
the trade.
Nick really didn't get anything.
That's
Well,
the trade.
fine, but he
It's
wasn't
good
using
for the
it.
show.
Which is
Good
why
variety.
I will
It's
begin
good for the
using
show.
the Royal Trumpeters
Yeah.
for, of course, the doorstep of destiny, the newest and most sensational bit that we have. So hit the music for the doorstep of destiny, please, gentlemen. We're back all the way. It's a fair trade. Six in a row. I told you guys. I told you. I told you. So I've got two full screens. Thank you. Welcome. Happy to have you on the team. Two full screens, Greg, that I want to get your reaction to.
Happy to have you.
First, we just updated this full screen about Drake May. I don't even think Drake May played outstanding. But turns out outstanding is just the floor now. 200 passing yards and 100 passer rating. Longest streaks since the merger in 1970. Prime Aaron Rodgers, Drake May, another MVP Rodgers, prime Brady, prime Peyton Manning, and prime Patrick Mahomes.
No one has had a longer streak in NFL history without having Greg Jennings on their team. That's just a fact.
Great take.
That's just a fact.
That's a great take.
Just looking at it, that's just
So
a
then
fact.
there is some confusion. Now, what exactly is the doorstep of destiny going to?
Yeah.
People don't totally get it. I'll be honest with you. Bit of a work in progress. We got to kind of out ahead of ourselves. Well, let's go to our old favorite, the Athletic playoff predictor.
Oh, Jesus, man.
If you can zoom in there, I don't actually think we can.
First round bye, 28%.
We have the best chances to have a first round bye out of any team in the league, Greg.
Wow.
So all of a sudden it's like, oh, is this frisky little team going to make the playoffs? Oh, are we going to win a playoff game? Like, hold on. Are we getting a first round bye? Yes, according to the Athletics.
No,
playoff
according to the Athletics playoff predictor, they actually say there's a 3 out of 4 chance you don't get a first round bye. However, you have the best chance of anyone. Just to be fair.
If you want to be three quarters
No,
glass half empty, sure.
So I am. Should I go or are you going to keep going?
Well, I'm looking for compliments right now, Greg.
This is compliments. No. Listen, I would be shocked if they don't win at least 12 games at this point.
Let's go. Come on now.
Like all they have to win 12 games. You have 6 games left against terrible teams. Or I'm sorry, 5 games left. 2 against the Jets, a Dolphins game, a Giants game, and a Bengals game.
Well, Bengals, it's tough to score 50 points.
But so if you go, say you go 4-1.
Oh, we got the Ravens too.
Say you go
better watch out for that
4-1
one.
against the awful teams. Can you go 1-2 Bucks, Bills, Ravens?
Yeah.
And that's how you get to 12 wins. Now, so I do think, and I wrote it down, the 1 seed is in play.
Let's go.
Now, it should be noted, you guys were you're not the 1 seed right now. You were the 1 seed after week 13 in 2021. Oh. And so like that, now that was obviously the win game and it, destroyed Mac Jones' whole career. But
how's he doing?
His Patriots career. So no, I do think, Greg, that they have as good a chance as anybody of being the 1 seed. I agree with that. So I do think they're legit.
Look,
wow, thank you.
I really like what the Patriots are. You're not done. You want to continue?
No, I'm looking for compliments.
Oh, yeah. Well, all compliments over here. Look, when you watch this team, I think one of the things that you will love is when you look at this team, obviously they're playing solid defense. I don't know if we are really highlighting what Drake May is doing, not just from a statistical standpoint, but from an efficiency standpoint, because his completion percentage, obviously they lead the NFL in completion percentage as an offense. They have the fewest incompletions in all of football, like per game. Like, that lets me know, for a second-year guy to make that jump, to run that offense, he's not throwing the ball 30 times a game. Like, so when you ask him to, okay, shoulder this, deliver for us, you know what he does? He delivers. And so I'm just impressed.
Here we go. Let's go.
By what he's been able to do with a decent skill set of guys around him, not overly talented.
Right.
Decent. Yeah, pretty good.
I like Stephon Diggs. I've always enjoyed him. I think he brings a lot to that offense.
But they don't have great skill
They
position
do not
players,
have
and they're
great
doing it
skill
makes it even
position
more
guys
impressive.
across the board. And so when you don't have that, you're asking your second-year quarterback to be what we hoped you to be when we drafted you. And he's delivering. So I love where they're at.
I second a lot of what Greg said.
You want to just, because it's going to get boring.
No, I got
It's going to
something
get
say.
boring. It's like, should we just advance to the Super Bowl talk? Or
I want to bring it back to earth. Okay. The question says, are the Patriots officially back? And I'm surprised that you allowed that question to even be on the board.
Why?
When you have 6 Super Bowl wins
it's a good point.
this century, overall, but this century, they all happen to happen in, back is winning a Super Bowl.
Well,
Back is not being relevant again. Back is not winning the division, being the number 1 seed. We saw Washington get to the NFC Championship game last year. Are they back?
Yeah.
No. I mean, and look, I love what Drake May is doing for all the reasons Greg said. I love Mike Vrabel. You know, I covered him in high school when he was a player. I love Josh McDaniels as the offensive coordinator. And so everything is moving in the right direction. But as Nick alluded to, 2021, you were the number 1 seed at one point. Y'all made the playoffs. Mac Jones, you were calling him the baby goat, and I liked him. Now, Drake May is legit, I fully believe. But at that point, Mac Jones had beaten out Cam Newton. I get it wasn't prime Cam, but that said a lot. Hey, well, this rookie beat out the veteran Cam Newton and made the Pro Bowl. So you thought you were back then. So I'm just saying, just bring it down a notch. Just so you don't
respectfully,
get the
I
feelings
understand that we're all about Super Bowls, but I wouldn't want to swim in your lane. I'm not going to sit here and say that we're S-Bob when we haven't been deemed S-Bob.
That question kind of makes
But I'm not going to, I feel like I'm
like
overstepping.
S-Bob.
I want to be in the S-Bob
So
conversation.
you're not they're not S-Bob.
I'm waiting for you to give them the blessing. I'm
Do you
waiting
wanna
for
No,
you.
I'm not
your
gonna
cheating
do that.
Nah, I'll save the cheating bit.
Okay.
Oh, you want to cook on that.
Well, did you follow this story, Greg?
Yeah.
So there's a pivotal play. Penix got the snap too quickly. Raheem Morris afterwards said, you know what? Great situational football. They were clapping, which you're not allowed to do. Vrabel said it was clapgate. And I read this, and we looked at it, and it's like, we don't think it's actually has any.
Did you see anybody? Yeah,
I watched every view, all 22.
Right.
I never saw a guy clap.
The reason we're back,
The excuses.
right there on the line of cheating. We're right there on the line. We're not cheating, but we'll be up to the line. Gentlemen, can you play us out, please? No?
Well, yeah. I think
Okay, yeah, sorry. I thought that was a no. I thought that was
not bad for your first time.
I'm glad it's good to have them back.
Yeah, it's good to have
the guys back.
excellent. We'll see you after we beat Tampa. Upset of the week. Packers were 13-point favorites at home against Carolina. They ended up scoring 13 points. Panthers moved to 5-4. Packers 5-2-1. Mangini and Greg, an insurmountable lead on Upset Alert. We probably have to change the rules. Should Packers fans be worried?
I'd be a little worried. The NFC is not the AFC. It's not that there's 8 teams that are, at all viable, and one of them is the Jags, who just had their lands and titles stripped by Kevin Wildes because Wildes said they're no longer relevant, even though they're in the playoffs. The NFC has a bunch of teams, including the one that just beat you.
Because what are they, second right now?
Well, you're talking the NFC North.
They lead the NFC North.
Right, and so we can show you the NFC playoffs situation right now. Right now, they're 4th, but they're also look at who's in 7th. A team they're a half game up on. Mm-hmm. And that tiebreaker's not going to matter because they're not going to have the same records. Lions don't have a tie. And the Bears are out of the playoff picture. They're a half game up on them. You then add, Greg, to it what the Packers' schedule is, and you're like, oh, man, they only have one layup left, the Giants. Every other team they play is fighting to be in the postseason. And so 5 divisional games, your non-divisional games are the Eagles, the Broncos, the Ravens, and then the Giants game. Like that, I'd be nervous if I were Green Bay, who, as Bruce said, is S-Bob and was, a lot of people's Super Bowl pick.
So if I'm the fans, I'm not nervous. I would be a little frustrated with this team because I'm trying to figure out who are we? And what I would suggest is for them to just kind of take a page out of Aaron Rodgers, past Aaron Rodgers, and just relax a bit because there's a lot riding on the shoulders of Jordan Love. We saw that even yesterday. Based off what we saw last week when there was a showdown in Pittsburgh against Aaron Rodgers and that Pittsburgh Steelers team, the performance he put on display was like, if we get this,
win the Super Bowl.
We're great. We're going to be rolling high. But the level of inconsistency, when others aren't able to step up and make plays, you need this guy to do it, Jordan Love. And he just has found a way to, for some reason, be as inconsistent as they come. And it's frustrating because we see the flame when it's full blown, and then the next week, like Sunday, we see it when it's not.
Yeah.
And as a fan, as one who's played with Brett Favre, one who's obviously played with Aaron Rodgers, it was always on. There was never a
but here
switch.
it's like there's 2 Jordan Loves.
Kind of, a little bit.
One is J-Lo, and one is J. No.
Yeah, man.
No, I mean, it's interesting. You showed that schedule. Part of me, look, I don't think you want to play a tough team every single week, barring the Giants.
The Giants are done.
They're done, but I'm just saying you got to show up. But I wonder when you look at what they've done already. They've lost to, and the Carolina's better than we've given them credit for, but still, they lost to Carolina and the Browns and tied the Cowboys. So those are 3 mediocre at best or bad teams. But they've beaten, at that time we thought Washington was pretty good, obviously Detroit, obviously the Steelers. Part of me wonders, will it be good for them to play some good teams? Because
if they beat them.
Greg, like for them to get up for games, that was a total no-show yesterday.
And it
I don't want to take anything from Carolina, but that was a total no-show. The Packers entered as the 5th best rush defense in the league. So you don't run on them. And yesterday, Carolina ran for like almost 170 yards. Rico Dowdle had 130 yards rushing. That's a no-show. That's not somebody was better than us or whatever. They didn't go in with the right mentality, find themselves in a football game, and couldn't turn it on. I think the same thing happened against the Browns. And J-Lo, Greg is right. Like, and you guys know I love J-Lo, but he is frustratingly inconsistent. Or even if you look at his numbers yesterday, he didn't have any touchdowns, but they don't look that terrible. But we watched the game, like this was just ridiculous. I don't know that's first down. Like, I don't know what he was thinking there. He just makes some plays that make you scratch your head and wonder when it really, gets down to it in the playoffs, is he going to do something boneheaded and hurt you?
And I know we got to go, but I thought LaFleur's answer there on the home media, that was from GreenBayPackers.com, was incredibly instructive. That coach nailed this. When coach said they are 4-5-1 as big favorites. So they have 5 outright losses as big favorites in their last 10. They could be looking ahead to the Eagles. When Matt LaFleur is like, says in that interview, it doesn't matter who you're playing. Bro, you were playing a team that came into the game with 4 wins. You came into the game with 5. Like I think it's very clear, like they looked at it the way Vegas looked at it, the way I looked at it, which is, the Packers are way better than this team. And I think you saw it play out.
It's the Packers' largest upset loss, according to Rob Domofsky, since the merger.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.